Hi. We have one more person who's coming down. One second here. Okay, I have copies here, press release and of the challenges that we presented Wells Fargo today. My name is Pete Thottam. I am an attorney and an Occupy activist. We have here today 7 occupiers and Occupy supporters who have met for 2.5 hours with Wells Fargo's senior level executives. 6 senior level executives, vice presidents, took the time today to meet with members of the Occupy movement. Members were invited today to talk about the U.S. foreclosure crisis, about their perspective on the historical context of that foreclosure crisis, their relationship to other banks, B of A, Citibank, and Chase in particular, and the concerns in the Occupy movement that are out there, and what they can do possibly to help address those concerns. I'm going to allow Carlos Marroquin to talk briefly about what was said during the meeting, what came out of it, and then each one of us will talk today spotlighting a particular theme, substantive point in terms of the takeaway from this historic meeting between Occupy activists and senior level executives of a major American bank. Again, I will have copies of the press release and the challenge statement, 8 challenges that we came up with, that we presented to Wells Fargo's senior level executives. We have been promised that this document and 3 things in particular will be taken back to the CFO, Tim Sloan of Wells Fargo, and the CEO, John Stumpf, at some point in the near future. Those 3 things are item number 7, which Mark will talk about, involving foreclosures that are going on in the Bay Area and here in Los Angeles. A demand for an apology or an acknowledgement from Wells Fargo as to their culpability, their executives' culpability, and the banking industry's culpability in the massive Ponzi scheme that was built out from 2000 to 2007, almost wrecking not just the U.S. economy, not just the global economy, but the lives and the communities of this country and certainly of this state. That demand for an apology and an acknowledgement of culpability is going directly to the CEO and the CFO. We've been promised that will happen, and we will be following up with them. The third thing that we are going to have delivered to the CEO and the CFO, Tim Sloan and John Stumpf, is a $2 billion write-off request. We are asking Wells Fargo to show that it recognizes the severity of the crisis in this country in the home ownership sector, and to write off $2 billion of their principal, their equity in the 90% of the loans that they service, that they are actually the owners of. To write down $2 billion worth of value to help homeowners out who simply cannot afford to meet the principal and interest obligations under the notes that were drawn up. That demand, that challenge to Wells Fargo is being taken to the CEO and the CFO. And hopefully we will hear back positively from them in the near future. Thank you. The third one is a very specific request for families in the Bay Area, Bernal Heights, San Francisco, and here, over 20 families here in Los Angeles Carlos Mariquin, Cheryl Ikeli, and others will speak to that during this press conference. They have said that they will look at these foreclosures and reevaluate what's happening with those particular foreclosures. That's over 30 families that are directly affected. And again, we have people here who will specifically speak to that issue during this conference.
Talking about the major banks, we're talking about Wells Fargo and how many other
I'm gonna turn it over to others now. Let them speak.
Yeah, my name is Carlos Mariquin, and today we had a very productive conversations with members of Wells Fargo Executive Branch, and it was a meeting in which we presented to them the frustrations of millions of Americans, families that continue to struggle with their mortgages, continue to struggle with their foreclosure issues. Some of the issues that we presented to them is the fact that many homeowners find themselves in a struggle just to be in touch with the banks. The system that they created in the loan modification process that is failing. The people continue to be denied modifications. It was presented to them. They understand that there are issues that homeowners continue to be disconnected with their banks in the whole process. So they have promised us that they're going to look into these business practices, and there's other concerns regarding the rental agreements that they are trying to push through the U.S. Congress, and we address those concerns as well. Sí, claro. En este día nos juntamos con ejecutivos de Wells Fargo Bank, del banco de Wells Fargo, y pedimos ciertas medidas que se tomaran contra aquellas familias que están perdiendo sus casas. Sabemos que el sistema está defraudando a muchas familias que están perdiendo sus casas y que no es posible que ellos hagan modificaciones. Hablamos, las pláticas fueron acerca de esas cosas y creemos de que ellos van a responder. Les dimos una lista de familias, de 27 familias que no están recibiendo ayuda del banco. Cuando ellos están haciendo todo lo posible de poder recibir la ayuda, los bancos no están escuchando, y es exactamente lo que estamos pidiendo, de que el sistema tiene que ser un sistema que trabaje para la gente y no solamente para el banco.
My name is Kwasi Nkrumah. I'm the co-chair of Occupy the Hood. We are an element within Occupy LA, which has been focused on building the Occupy movement as a community-based movement. As has been said by Peter and Carlos, I think the meeting today was very significant. I think that the primary significance of it was that Wells Fargo felt it was necessary to meet with us or activists in the Occupy movement. And I think that they extended the invitation to us because they recognize that the Occupy movement is the spearhead of a massive move that's taking place among the population throughout the country, and that has to be taken seriously. So that was very significant. What comes out of these discussions is another question, and we'll have to see about that. But again, I think that the primary thing that we're concerned about is not just Wells Fargo, but the institutional role of the banks in dispossessing millions of Americans out of their homes. There have been 12 million foreclosures in the United States in the past 6 years. And there are 3.5 million homes that are on the verge of being foreclosed on this year at an accelerated rate by the banks. And, you know, it's unconscionable. The damage which has been done to this country, to communities throughout this country, the dispossession of massive numbers of people, all in the pursuit of profits. And, you know, today as advocates for homeowners and for communities, we came here to communicate directly with Wells Fargo, which is part and parcel of what we intend to do with all of the banking institutions and all public officials in the country, to make it clear that we expect to see some serious movement to put a stop to this mass motion of dispossession that's sweeping the country. And again, we'll have to see what their response is. I think that we were listened to respectfully. We also listened to their presentations basically in terms of how they are attempting to deal with some of these issues, and we'll see what comes out of that. But it was very significant that they felt the need to sit down with us to discuss these issues, and I think that this is a reflection of the fact that there is a lot of motion in the country, including legal motion at the state levels around the country by various attorney generals to bring suit against these banks and against the corporations to stop them from what they are doing, and to make it known that whether you are the CEO of a multi-billion dollar corporation or whatever, you still have some accountability to the people of this country. And that's a very important point. And you know, I think we have to watch what's happening here in California with our own state attorney general and see which way she's going to go on this. She's been making some very good signs about taking an independent stand in regard to pursuing litigation against the banks. And I think that we really need to see that kind of activity. I see in Nevada and Arizona that they are in fact doing that very aggressively. And either way, our intent as advocates is to continue to organize in our communities to in fact resist the continuation of foreclosure policies. So we had the communication, and we'll see what will come of that, but in the long run, the issue will be decided in the community itself.
So do you think there is a connection between what's happening here today and what's going on in Sacramento, where the Attorney General is considering what to do? I mean, will the banks say, look, we're talking to people now, we're trying to do the right thing, don't punish us?
Yeah, I think the banks see the handwriting on the wall. They know that people are not going to sit by indefinitely and let things continue to drift the way they have, and really massive criminal actions by people in powerful positions of powerful economic entities in this country, really getting away with mass murder in a sense, and really corrupting our political system to the point that it's dysfunctional. So yes, I think that they see that, they see what's happening in Sacramento, they